Garry here from GBL, the old church, 5 Acre Homestead. I'm getting ready to prepare a celebratory meal. I have something, folks, to be very, very thankful for and something worth celebrating. But I'm going to keep that a secret. But I'll tell you what my celebratory meal is going to consist of. It's going to consist of some locally raised beef, raised right here in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. I'm going to be preparing that with some onions from our garden, with some diced carrots from our garden, with some russet potatoes from our garden, veggies that we grew this year in our raised bed vegetable garden, folks. We've got lots of videos on our YouTube channel of our garden. So you're going to want to go check those videos out. So please do that. Not right now. I want you to stay here with me right now. To flavor up the local beef, I'm going to use a little bit of bacon. So I have some bacon here. I'm going to use some olive oil. I'm going to use some salt and pepper to taste. I have a glass of red wine. I'm going to taste that very, very soon because it's a celebratory meal, folks. Something to be thankful for and something worth celebrating. What is it? You're going to want to know. And I'm preparing all of that in this beautiful large CI pan, cast iron all the way, folks. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful pan? I'm going to turn the camera around now in a few seconds and go through all these ingredients with you again. And then we're going to get this stove back here behind me all fired up. And we're going to go through this process together. It's a great dish. It's a great meal. It's very simple and delicious. Cheers. Okay, so I just wanted to take a few more minutes and show you those ingredients again. Here's the locally raised beef. Okay, raised right here in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada, as I said. So I'm going to be preparing that in this large cast iron skillet. I have some potatoes, some russet potatoes there from our garden, a couple of onions from our garden, some diced carrots from our garden that Miss May diced up, blanched, and froze. And I'm going to be using a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and of course some coarse salt and some peppercorns. So I'm going to be putting that in as well. This is going to be, like I said, a very, very delicious meal. And there's my red wine. You can't have beef without a nice little glass of wine. So there you go. So let's get at it, folks. Let's get this meal started. Come on, let's go. I've already cut up my bacon into little pieces. Here's some locally raised beef. I'm going to cut it up into small portions. This is a really sharp knife, so be careful, Mr. Garry. I washed my hands too, folks, just to let you know. My hands are all nice and clean. Okay. So cutting it up into small pieces here. Cut that one in half and some of them in half as well. Okay, this is going to be delicious. Locally raised beef. Okay, let's take this locally raised beef over to the frying pan and let's get some of that in there with the bacon. There's the bacon, rendered out really nice. So I'm just going to take this beef and just chuck it in there with the bacon. Now, not much grease came out of that bacon. It was pretty lean bacon. So that's why I have the extra virgin olive oil there. So I'm going to add a bit of that to my pan there now. But I'm going to let that caramelize just a little bit first. Okay. Just for that. Already starting to smell really, really nice. I'm going to add a little bit of this extra virgin olive oil. Just a small bit down around, Mr. Garry. Not a lot. That'll help keep the meat from sticking on. A little bit of the cracked pepper going in this dish. Okay, that's plenty. And some of the coarser salt in there as well. There you go, that's enough. Okay, all ready. Just look at that. Looking delish, looking delish. Yeah. I'm gonna put a little cover on that. Down here in the cupboard, there should be a cover that we can find. I wonder will that one fit? Oh, fits perfect. Fits like a glove. That cover fits like a glove. on there. Okay, so we'll leave that alone. Now, while that's just cooking there now, we're going to dice up an onion. Okay, let's cut up an onion. I'm going to cut these up into fairly big pieces. I'm going to put that in with the local beef. Okay. There we go. Cut this one up as well. So I'm cutting it into fairly big strips, and then I'm cutting the strips into thirds. This is a fairly big onion. We're going to take the cover off and have a look at our local beef. Cooking really, really nice. Just look at that. Isn't it looking delicious already, folks? Let's put in the onion. Here we go. Get that onion in there now, Mr. Garry. That's going to be delish. That's going to be delish. Okay. Get every last bit of onion. Okay, so we're going to let that saute a little bit. Okay, and while that's cooking away, we're going to peel a potato or two. There we go. Put some potatoes into some big chunks for our meal this evening. Fairly big pieces of potato, folks, going in this dish. Sauteing really, really nicely. The local beef with the bacon and the onion. Look at that. Delish, delish, delish. Turn the burner up on high because I want to deliberately let the local beef and the onions and the bacon caramelize on the bottom of this pan. And if you look closely, you can see that that's what happened. And if you can smell the caramelization happening on the bottom of that pan. I'm being very careful. I just want to leave it there just for so long. So I'm being overly cautious here now because I don't want to burn it on. I don't want that, but I do want a nice caramelizing flavor on my meat. So let's turn it back again now. Okay, so the caramelization is occurring. Oh, what a smell, what a smell. I can smell the little bit of burning from the onion, the little bit of burning from the meat and from the bacon. Oh, delish. Now, leave it there for a little while longer, a few more seconds. I want to get that burnt smell, that burnt taste absorbed through the meat, the caramelization, but not a lot, just enough, just enough. At this stage, you got to stay close to your cast iron frying pan. All right, so let's pour in some water. Now, there's going to be some sizzling and some steam. You can hear that? Now, you can see already that the water, that the liquor in the pan is turning a little bit brown. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for with this dish. Look at that. Already got the color of liquor or gravy in this pan, doesn't it? And that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more to it. Okay, now I'm going to put in my potato. Here's my potato, my 2 russet potatoes that I cubed up. They're going in on top there, Mr. Garry. Now this process now, to cook these potatoes, will take about 30 minutes, 45 minutes thereabouts, and then this dish will be done. It's a very quick dish. It's about an hour total from start to finish, and probably about another 30 minutes for prep time to get your veggies and your meat and all that ready, right? So here we go. We got all our potato in there. A couple of more pieces over here, Mr. Garry. Now, the carrot, I'm not going to put the carrot in just yet. The carrot has already been diced and blanched, so it won't take very long for those carrots, and I don't want to overcook the carrots. Okay, so I'm just going to get those potatoes down there now in that water, in that liquor, among the meat and the bacon and the onion. Oh my God, I wish I could send you the smell. I wish I could send you the smell that's coming off of this cast iron pan. Put the cover back on, Mr. Garry. Now, that's going to cook away. We're going to turn the burner down a little bit more. So I've got it down on medium there now. And all I want to do now is I just want this pan to simmer away. See that? It's just simmering there. It is not boiling like mad. It's just simmering away. The potatoes are going to turn right nice and soft in that liquor and add some flavor to it. It's going to be delish. I have my handle turned in, which is great. There you go. So when we come back, we'll be putting in the carrots for the last few minutes. Let's take a look at our meal, shall we, folks? Let's take a beautiful look. Oh my goodness gracious, just look at that. Doesn't that look delicious in here? Those potatoes look great. Let me get a fork out of the drawer right here, lots of forks. And let me just try a couple of those potatoes. Oh, they're nice and soft. And I said, I'm gonna take one out, putting over there for me for later. I'm gonna put in the carrot now, just over the top. Okay, just spread them around. Put the cover back on. And like I said, they don't need a lot of time in this pan, in this frying pan. They're just going to add some nice color and some nice flavor to this dish. Let's put the cover back on. And we're going to try that bit of potato. Let's see. Oh my goodness! Delish. Now I'm going to turn it down again on low now, because we only want those carrots to warm up, because they're already blanched. One final look at our celebratory meal, folks. Our reason to celebrate this evening is going to be enjoyed with this meal. Let's take a look. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? People would pay money for that. People would pay lots of money for that. Isn't that delish and gorgeous? Just look at that. Local beef and onions and bacon, potato and carrot. What a delicious, delicious meal. Now, I've got to try to take that over to the island. Now, the cast iron is hot, so let's take this over very carefully now, Mr. Garry, and move it over here. There we go. Now, just look at that. There's my spread. What a delicious looking meal. Folks, I wish my friends on YouTube were here with me to celebrate this meal with me this evening, because this celebratory meal is all about you. And I'm going to explain that in a very few seconds. So bear with me, stay with me for a little while longer, and I want to explain why we are having a celebratory meal this evening, why we are being so very, very thankful, and why you are so important to this thankful celebratory meal. Stay with me, folks. Don't you dare go away. I need you for this last part of the video. Stay with me. Now, let's spoon this up. Look at that. Just look at that now, Mr. Garry. Put that right on your plate. Oh my goodness, just look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Let's get some carrots out there. Let's get some carrots out there. I've got some leftovers. For sure. Now, isn't that gorgeous looking? Folks, you got to agree with me. That is an absolutely beautiful looking dish. I have a couple of slices of bread, because in my opinion, you have to have bread with a meal. There you have it, folks. Our beautiful, beautiful spread this evening. Our celebratory meal right here at GBL, the Old Church, 5 Acre Homestead. Why are we having this beautiful meal this evening? Cheers, folks. Cheers. Thank you for tuning in and being here with me this evening. Here's the reason for our celebratory meal, our thankful meal this evening. Very recently, GBL, the Old Church 5 Acre Homestead, acquired 2,000 subscribers to our channel. Miss Betty and I, we are floored. We are over the moon excited by reaching 2,000. I was a bit cautious, I will admit that. When we turned 2,000, it went back to 1998. For some reason, we lost a couple of subscribers, so I was a little bit cautious about celebrating. I wanted to be careful. We are now sitting at 2006. So I think we can proceed with this celebratory, thankful meal, this thankful celebration that we're having this evening with you, folks. You are our subscribers. You are the folks that visit our channel often. You like our videos, you share our videos, you comment on our videos, and you subscribe to GBL, the Old Church, 5 Acre Homestead. And we thank you so very, very much. 2000, that is a huge milestone. When Miss Betty and I started this YouTube channel about a year or so ago, we never thought that we would reach 100 subscribers, let alone 1,000, and here we are sitting at 2,000. That is almost miraculous. That is amazing. We are so excited by that, but most of all, folks, we are so thankful and appreciative that you find our YouTube channel interesting enough and informative enough to tune in and watch our videos. Thank you so very, very much. We appreciate that always and forever. Thank you again. Thank you. Congratulations to us, but congratulations to you as well, because you've made this happen. We are 2,000, on our way now to 3,000. Let's get there, but we'll get there with your help, of course. Thank you again. This is Gary. I'm going to enjoy my meal. I'm going to sign out right now, and we'll see you in our next video, folks. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you again, always, for the 2,000 subscribers. Thank you always. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in to our YouTube channel. GBL, the Old Church, 5 Acre Homestead. Thanks, folks.
I've eaten everything on my plate. Look at that. Now, I gotta clean up that liquor with the bread. My God. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, folks and friends, subscribers to our YouTube channel, this is delicious. I didn't like my meal, folks. It wasn't good at all. Look at that. I got my plate all cleaned off here. Just a couple of pieces of bread left. And my plate is ready for the dishwasher. Delish.